This is Solo P1. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know it's late, but this is Italian Grand Prix race day review. It's been late, but it is what it is. We're just going to get on with it. We're joined here today with Toto Ama.
Come on, I'm in the corner.
All right.
I'm here.
All right, Toto Ama. So we're going to get into this before we get into it, we're going to go through it quick today because we've got a debrief after. How you been, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Look, if I'm a bit sluggish today, man, I can't take this heat at the moment, man. I can't take this heat. It's so hot in the whole entire UK at the moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's just get through this video, man.
This is why I haven't done much videos, because I'm not going to sit at a computer making content. And it's you know, too hot.
Yeah.
So you can keep talking. I just want to get this chat room ready.
Yeah, before getting this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and yeah, it would be really appreciated, man. Really appreciate it. But as you get the chat up, yeah, this race, yeah, Monza. Yeah, there's a few good battles in there, you know, especially the Ferrari battle. It was a really good battle, but we'll get into that during the video. That's all I'm going to say. And yeah, the battle on track was all right. The obvious winner, a new record and all that. But look, we'll talk about that later in the video.
So yeah, we're going to get into it. So basically, it all started with the big weekend is when Carlos Sainz got the pole position. Finally, we got someone else on the front row. Rather than Max, because it's always Max Verstappen. This is how the regulations have conveniently worked out for Red Bull. So it all started lights out of the way we go, and the best part of the race was the beginning, because Carlos Sainz stayed in front finally. He got the pole and stayed in front into the first chicane. Absolutely amazing drive from Ferrari, and this is why I titled the video Ferrari, because at the end of the day they done their best. All they could do is drive with what they had got, and what they had was two drivers trying their best. They knew deep down that Max Verstappen Red Bull was going to win, because that's the way their car is, but they still tried. You've got to take your hat off to, even though you're not a Ferrari fan, because you get some people, a lot of podcasts what do spaces, what come out and just hate Ferrari, then they hate Alonso. They're just basically just stupid idiots. They ain't got a clue about Formula One. They're just Lewis Hamilton fanboys. Not on here. On here, we are fair. And if someone does something wrong, we call them out. And people think, oh, you can't like Alonso and Lewis Hamilton at the same time, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. You'll see all them fake.
You can always have one of your favourites.
You'll see all them fake fans. You'll see all them fake fans leave when Lewis Hamilton retires, and then that'll be the best day, when all them fake fans leave. Anyway, so what do you think of Ferrari? The first, it was the first 14 laps.
Yeah, I think Sainz did his best to fend off Max. I think he got overtook in lap 15, but look, 15 laps and you're defending a Red Bull, that's big up to Sainz, man. And then Leclerc was also in the battle with Red Bull. He was having a little feud with Perez during the lap. Yeah, he was having a little feud with Perez. So Sainz and Leclerc were just battling all race. Of course, there was different strategies, of course, but Sainz did a good job of defending Max, and Leclerc did a good job of defending Perez. And I think Ferrari's had a really okay race.
Yeah, in lap 14, both went. I'm talking about George and Checo. They had a decent battle as well, George and Checo. Checo was spent most of the race moaning on the radio. Again, if that was Lewis, obviously there'll be different rhetoric from the commentators. They'll be different. That's just the way it is. Lap 14, George and Checo both went into the chicane at the same time. Same place, basically, where Max nearly killed Lewis when the car landed on his head in that first chicane. Perez then carried on, and then he gave the spot back to George. I think he gave the spot back to George. No, he was saying that George pushed him off, which he never pushed him off. It's a fact he didn't pull out. Very simple, really. Lap 15, Max finally passed Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz was in front for 15 laps.
It was into Curva Grande, wasn't it?
Yeah, that has to be a record for this season. For someone to stay in front for longer than 15 laps than the Red Bull, that must be a record. It must be a record. Because if someone gets the better of Red Bull at the beginning, which is very, very, very minimal this year, they usually start for 2 laps and then Max passes them in the DRS zone. But Carlos Sainz managed to stay out for 15 laps in front of Max Verstappen. That alone should have got driver of the day. Look, at the end of the race, I don't really like listening to the commentators anymore. When the race actually finishes, I turn my telly off. I don't really want to listen to the lauding of Max Verstappen. Oh, he's a great driver. Oh, he won 10 races in a row. But when Lewis done it, they just said it was the car. And Lewis said this in the statement, and obviously the normal haters came out and hated him because they know it's true. They know it's true. Everything he spoke was facts. Very simple. Anyway, lap 25, Max passes Lewis on the tyres. Wow. Yeah. Lewis was on a different strategy, by the way. He was still on his old hard tyres. Max passed. I'll let you land now. Max passed him, but he was on a different strategy. And Martin Brundle says, what can a lot can happen in 2 years. Remember 2 years ago there was battling and now he's passing Lewis. So what do you think of this situation with Max and that?
Yeah, look, it doesn't take that much skill to overtake someone on the straight. No. Red Bull, if people don't know about this, if you don't know about this, you don't know nothing about Formula One. If you don't know that Red Bull hasn't got the fastest DRS, they have got the fastest DRS. It's facts now. It's been facts all season. They have got the fastest DRS. People have like plus 15 kilometers. They have more kilometers than that DRS, and it doesn't take that much skill. If you got a Red Bull car and you're on the DRS, you don't even need DRS in this Red Bull car. All you need is power, and then you got them on the straight, especially the DRS. So basically, the Red Bull is just 2 times quicker than the Mercedes on the straight. It doesn't take that much skill. And you know this because Max, of course, on softer tyres, Hamilton waiting for a safety car. That was happening beginning of the race. Who said it again? Mercedes crew. I don't know who it was. Someone on the pit lane. It said the tyre strap they picked was the hard tyres that are going to go long and long and long.
That's what it was.
Try to get lucky for safety car. That's what Hamilton again said to the debrief. But I'm just, saying what I think about it. It doesn't take that much skill to overtake Hamilton on the straight in the Mercedes. If Hamilton at Red Bull, different story.
There was like you said, his tyres, I think by this point, his tyres were 25 laps old, and Max just pitted, and he was on the fresh tyres, and it basically was like overlapping him kind of, and that's why Brundle says it's funny what 2 years can do into what you can do in 2 years. Yeah, you can also cheat. Lap 31, Perez was trying to get the run on Charles Leclerc. This lasted a couple of laps previous. It was lap 28 he started. Perez again moaning, getting aggressive. But the thing about it, the joke's on him. The joke's on him, bro. Because all your eyes are lacking for Max Verstappen and everybody knows it. Everybody knows it that you're lacking for Max Verstappen. So lap 31, Perez was getting the run on Charles. Charles defended. And then Perez went onto the gravel slightly, not fully onto the gravel, a little bit onto the gravel, and then again he came onto the radio, started moaning. And again, if that was Lewis Hamilton and Lewis Hamilton was moaning, it'd be a different matter. It'd be a different word from the commentators. So, lap 32, Perez finally passes Charles Leclerc. Now it took him that long to pass Charles Leclerc, but it is what it is. Russell picks up a 5-second time penalty for tagging Ocon in turn 1. Which I didn't really catch that because I was back and forwards at this point. Because when I saw how the race was planning out, not because I'm not a Formula 1 fan, because I am a Formula 1 fan. If you don't believe I'm a Formula 1 fan, don't watch me. Very simple. That's why I've been doing it since 2017. But I've been watching this, right? And I knew, basically, when you've been watching Formula 1 as long as me and Toto, you kind of get the gist of it. You know where the race is going. So, because my team, Liverpool, was playing at the same time, I was juggling this. And I was juggling the Liverpool game as well. So I was juggling between two because all the times the Liverpool game had to start at the same time as the Grand Prix, didn't it? my luck. But anyway, we continue. Russell picks up a 5-second turn penalty for tagging Ocon, turn 1. Lap 40, Lewis made an attempt on Oscar Piastri, and it never paid off, and he kind of gashed his car. In my opinion, this was Lewis's fault. Lewis should have been more spaced. He got the run on him, but he wasn't really ahead. What did you think of this incident with Oscar Piastri and Lewis Hamilton?
Yeah, because it clearly run Oscar Piastri out of road, clearly, and they both went off the run-off area. And what the best thing Hamilton should have done is probably stuck to the inside and try to do it for now. Of course, the outside line, and usually the outside line cuts into an inside line as you go mid-corner. So the outside line is probably the best defending line at this point, but Hamilton had the inside, so Piastri took the outside, which eventually turned into an inside. But then Hamilton, so look, I'm a Hamilton fan, and he clearly turned his wheel into Piastri slowly, and Piastri had nowhere to go, and he had to run off.
I don't think he deliberately done it. Not deliberately.
Not deliberately.
It was a penalty, and he acknowledged that on the stream. Not on the stream. What am I talking about on the stream? He acknowledged that on the video. He knew it was his fault. He went over to Oscar Piastri. He said sorry. He got the time penalty, the 5-second time penalty. And as obviously we're going to get to it when the race as the race continued, the penalty never meant anything really, because we're going to continue. So lap 40, Lewis tried to attempt, didn't pay off. Lap 41, squeezed. Now it was lap 41, he squeezed him. So he tried in lap 40, didn't work. Lap 41, he squeezed Piastri. Lap 45, Perez getting involved with Sainz. So basically, Perez was fighting with the Ferraris all through the race. He was fighting with Charles, and now he's fighting with Sainz, and he was fighting with George Russell. So he's fighting with everybody, and again, continuing on the radio with his constant bitching. So lap 45, he got involved with Sainz. He wasn't really good on the brakes, as Perez is not sometimes. Lewis got a 5-second time penalty. This is during lap 45. Lewis got a 5-second time penalty. They announced it, Lewis, because of the album. But it didn't really matter really with the 5-second time penalty, because the person was behind him was Albon, and as soon as he got that 5-second time penalty, Lewis Hamilton just clicked into gear. He said, right, you're going to give me a 5-second time penalty? Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Boom. Continued to race. He passed, what's his name? Lando Norris. He got, and then the thing about it, Albon picked up a penalty as well. So because Albon picked up a penalty with somebody, Lewis, the penalty basically didn't really matter because he still finished in the position he did. So really, Lewis had an amazing race. Lap 47, Charles had his nose in the Curva Grande and Sainz at the end. This was the move. This was the scene of the best part of the race. Just towards the end, in lap 47, we had Charles Leclerc and Sainz. I'll let you talk about it. Go on.
Leclerc.
Curva Grande, it was Curva Grande.
Yeah, Leclerc and Sainz, man. I think, Leclerc locked up, didn't he? So he tried to go for an inside.
Sainz locked up.
Oh, yeah, he did go off the run-off area.
He went all in. Not the run-off.
They couldn't let it go because they were both teammates. They had nothing to lose. The Ferrari just let them race, so they always race. Every race anyway. They barely done the team order. But at this point, only a couple laps to go. So I think there's like 1 or 2 laps to go towards the end. They're going to fight it out and just let them race at this point, yeah. And, Sainz, all in, tried to take him on the inside. It didn't work. Went off the sausage curve and off the run-off area, man. It was a good battle between these two. It was a good battle. All the way to the end of the race, it was a good battle between these two.
I know. But I like the move, when Sainz locked up, he went all in. Basically, if that didn't pay off, it was either him going onto the gravel and getting done, or it paying off, and he went all in. He went, blow it, you're not going to pass me, Charles. Boom, and he just late break locked up and he got him through. And that was at lap 47. Lap 51, Charles locked up. No, that was lap 51. Charles locked up on Sainz, could have gone on, into the back of him. That was the one you was referring to when Charles.
Yeah, when they were going into
that was at the
first
end. That was lap 51. Lap 47 when it was Charles and Sainz, and Charles locked up and went all in and got through. So he stopped Charles from getting through. That was lap 47. But lap 51, Charles tried to get through as well again, but he locked up and nearly went into the back of Sainz. That's the one you was referring to, isn't it? That was lap 51. But them two, both of them was good. Lap 47 was good. I like how Sainz sacrificed his tyres to try and stay ahead of Charles. And in lap 51, Charles came back. He lapped up and it didn't pay off. But it was a great drive from Ferrari. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to bring up the standings, how it finished. Because it's been a week, basically. So I've got it how it finished. It finished with, I'll tell you now. Max Verstappen got one. Second, Perez. Third, Sainz. Fourth, Charles Leclerc. Fifth place, George Russell. And sixth place, Lewis Hamilton. And because of that penalty that Albon got, because Lewis Hamilton had a 5-second time penalty, but Lewis Hamilton was still 7 seconds in front of Albon, but Albon also received a 5-second time penalty for his incident. So really, effectively, it stayed the same. So Lewis had a decent race because basically he was nearly at the back. Lewis, he had a good strategy and he finished 6th, got a good points, 8 points, man. Picked up good points.
Yeah, good points.
7th place Albon, 8th place Norris, 9th place Fernando Alonso, 10th place Bottas, 11th place Lawson, 12th place Oscar Perez. Really shame about him. It's just one of them. It is what it is. 13th place Sargent, 14th place Wanya Zhou, 15th place Pierre Gasly, 16th place. That car is terrible. I don't know. I know we got. He was on the podium in the Dutch Grand Prix, but come on, man. 15th place, what's going on? 16th place Stroll, 17th place Nico Hülkenberg, 18th place Kevin Magnussen, 19th place Esteban Ocon, and 20th place Wan Yu Zhou. So I'm gonna get onto the website and get the standings of the drivers' standings. See how they are. Right. So
man. I'm interested.
Yeah, so we've got driver standings. Max Verstappen has won the championship basically, 364 points. Perez 219. Third place is Alonso. The battle for third is the battle for third place. I think it's between Alonso's got 170 points. Lewis is just behind him with 6 points behind him with 164. And then you got Sainz is 117, and you got Charles. I would say the battle is for third place really. I think the battle for second is between Alonso and Lewis. There's only 4 points between them. But there's a battle for third, and that will be between Sainz, Leclerc, and George Russell.
Yeah.
Because George Russell's on 109 in 7th place. Charles is on 111 in 6th place. And Sainz is on 117 in 5th place. So that's the battle for third. But there's only 2 people the battle for second, and that's Alonso and Hamilton. There's only 6 points between them. So really, that's the battle for third. But you know what? I'll tell you something now. Don't write off Hamilton or Alonso to get that second place, because Perez is on 219. And you know what Perez is like? He's not really reliable, is he?
No.
So that's the end of the review, guys. Straight away, we're going to do a debrief after this. We're going to try and whack him out. And then tomorrow, we'll be back to the football. So big up, Toto. I'll see you in a bit for the debrief. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you in a bit, guys. Bye.